Hi there, and welcome to my channel. If you're grieving right now or supporting someone who is, you're in the right place. I am Denise Deelwart, and I'm the creator of the Flow Grief Release Method and GNR, which is Grief Neuro Repatterning. Every week, I share videos on grief healing, growth, and rediscovering life after loss. So please make sure to subscribe, click the bell so you never miss these weekly moments of hope and healing. And of course, you can share them as well with anybody you feel needs to hear the message. So today I want to talk to you about one of the hardest things anyone can go through, and that's sudden widowhood. You know, when that loss strikes out of nowhere, it leaves you in shock. You're numb. You're unable to process what just happened. I know this personally. My husband Martin went to work one morning, perfectly healthy, but he never came home. He had a blood clot. He was only 55. I was only 51. And in an instant, my whole world stopped. It just stopped. So I want to share not only my story, but also what I've learned about navigating those very first moments of that sudden death. That life-shattering loss, because life as we know it and as you know it changes in a heartbeat. It's just changed. So the first few days and weeks are like living in la la land, I call it, because you're not registering, you're not. The world seems to be moving around you slowly. Anybody can relate to that? People are laughing, birds are singing, the sun is shining, but you're stuck in this vortex of what just happened. Nothing feels real anymore. You may not be eating, you may not be sleeping, or maybe you are, and you're thinking, well, I'm still eating, I'm still sleeping. Maybe I'm in denial. Now, there is no such thing as denial, it's disbelief. What just happened? You're feeling foggy, you're feeling numb, you're feeling, oh my goodness, this is not right. I should be feeling better. No, you shouldn't be feeling better. Please don't let anybody try and say, hey, think positively, you're okay. Yes, it's very sad. I'm here for you. Go within yourself. Just stop and let the world go by. It's okay. It's okay to be in shock. It's okay to be in la la land. Unfortunately, society wants us to move forward or get over it. And they want you to do that as quickly as possible. Now, I'm not saying that you need to wait for time, because time is an illusion. So as soon as you feel, okay, it's time now to take the next step, do that. But do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Because when we lose somebody suddenly and unexpectedly, we have no preparation. You haven't been able to prepare for that loss. If it's your husband in particular, like it was in my case, you're not prepared for that loss. It was a Monday morning. Martin went off to work, kissed him on the cheek goodbye, see you later, have a great day. And half an hour later, he had collapsed on the side of the road. Nobody knew what it was. It was a blood clot that took him. So, in that instant, my whole life changed. I was getting ready to go and see one of my clients. I was a bookkeeper back then, my old life, as I call it. And I was getting ready to go and see one of my clients. Just a normal Monday morning. Sudden death doesn't prepare you for what's coming. Now, some people have the belief that a sudden death is better than a prolonged long goodbye. I disagree. And why do I disagree? Because a long goodbye is you already start your grieving process along the way. You still have that presence of the person. And yes, I understand being a carer is hard. It's taxing. It takes so much out of you. But along the way, you've done your little bits of grieving. You know, your mind is sort of kind of not 100% prepared for the loss, for the death. Let me say at this stage that death is final. Either way, it's final. So whether you've lost somebody suddenly, or whether you've looked after them for years or months or weeks, that end result has been the same. That end result is exactly the same. It's still final. There's no going back. A lovely client of mine nursed her husband for years and years and years and years. And she used to say to me, Denise, I'm so tired of this. I can't be his carer anymore. I just wish he would go and be out of his pain. And I used to say to her, enjoy every minute you've got with him. Because when he does go, you're not going to have that physical presence anymore. And, she tried. She really tried. But what she did discover is when he did die and he did pass over, her life changed forever. Because not only did it leave that void of now what do I do with my life, because her whole dedication for all those months was taking care of him. So her whole life had to start over. So either way, death is final. It's starting over. It's reimagining your new life without your loved one. So with a sudden death, you go into complete shock, complete la-la land. It's unexpected. It's not something that you expect to happen. You okay one minute and then you're not okay the next. You've heard of the widowmaker heart failure, heart attack. There's car accidents. There's so many ways that somebody's life could be taken in an instant. So in the early days, it's okay to forget what day it is. Oh my goodness, I did. I forgot what day it is, where I was, what I was doing. It's also okay to think, did I eat today? Because maybe you've lost your appetite, like I did. I couldn't eat. I had to force myself to eat. I couldn't sleep. It's all okay. Don't put any pressure on yourself. I should be feeling better by now. Or let somebody say to you, why are you still feeling like that? It's been a month, it's been 2 months. It's okay to feel like that. It's okay. But here's the thing. It's okay to feel like that, but it's not okay to stay like that. There comes a time when we have to say, all right, I now have to move forward with my life. So feel it, which is part of the flow method. Feel your pain. But then we've got to let go of that. We've got to let go of that pain, not the memories, not the love, the pain. We have to let go of that pain. To let go of that pain is we have to acknowledge it. I remember so well when I made the decision that I can't lose my keys anymore. I can't lose my sunglasses anymore. I can't repeat myself anymore. I can't share my story with my therapist anymore. I need to heal me. And when I made that decision that I needed to heal, not my grief, my whole life changed. I realized too along the way that feeling that loss and that emptiness and that loneliness and that bewilderment of whoa, 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 you feel as though you're in a washing machine is perfectly normal. It is normal, 100% normal. So if this is you right now, or you know somebody that's in this phase of their grief, Please hear me. Listen up. You are not crazy. You are grieving. When I started repeating myself and losing things, my kids, remember I was only 51, my kids thought I had Alzheimer's. I was losing my mind. I suddenly at 51 had Alzheimer's. And I remember them sitting me down and, looking back now, they sat me down and said, Mum, you need to get help. You're getting Alzheimer's. The shock of Dad's death has caused you to get Alzheimer's. What I didn't understand at the time is that I was in la la land, that my brain shuts down. So when I was ready, the first step that really helped me begin to move forward was allowing myself to feel just a little at a time. So what does feel mean? The flow method that I created out of my own loss and my own having to want to transform my life and rediscover who I am. To live Martin's legacy. We all live our loved ones' legacy when they pass away. So what legacy do you want to live for them? So feel. Feel is to sit with what's real, even if it's just a minute. I used to take myself into my walk-in closet with my little poodle dog, Lulu, and I used to sit in the dark and just rock. And I used to just rock. The tears would come down because I knew I had to feel. Because if I wasn't going to feel that grief, that pain, I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let that pain go. I couldn't release the guilt. I couldn't release oh, what if? What if I was with Martin? Would I have seen that he had a blood clot? The what ifs. Or even the pressure to rush to do it. I've got to get better. I've got to feel. I've got to start moving forward. Why? Society puts that pressure on us. Please don't put that pressure on yourself. Because then you can start overcoming, which is the O in flow. You can slowly begin to shift your patterns and your thoughts when the grief brain loops, because our grief brain loops, and you know it. We overplay and we play that moment over and over and over and over. Only then can you become whole. And you become whole one day, gently. You start opening up yourself to small moments of hope and possibility. So don't rush yourself, but don't stay there forever. I always say to my clients is, don't unpack and live there. You can go there for a holiday. You can visit your grief for a while, but please don't like it so much that you unpack and live there. You may feel like your life ended when your spouses did, but I promise you, you are still here and your life still matters. Oh boy, does it matter. Grief doesn't end. There is no end to grief, and you can't heal grief because grief is love. Yeah, grief is love, whether we like it or not. And, these memes that go around, the harder you grieve, the longer you loved or the deeper you loved, it's all rubbish. Please don't buy into those little snippets of sayings and, yep, I agree with that, because grief is love, regardless of how you knew that person, how long you knew them, who they were in your life. If you loved them, you will grieve for them. But it doesn't have to stay as sadness. It does change. It does change. And it doesn't change over time. It changes when you decide to change it. So, so many people say, oh, wait for time. Time will, time heals all. No, it doesn't. Time is just numbers on a clock. It changes when you decide to change it. You absolutely won't always feel this raw, but you have to take action as well towards your own journey, towards your grief journey. I spoke earlier about leaving a legacy. It is so important to live the legacy of your husband, your spouse, your loved one. We have to, what would they want to see you doing right now? What would make them proud? And that's the key secret to moving forward. For you to actually go, would they want to see me crying every day? Would they want me to see me not moving forward with my life? In the case of a widow, would they want to see me not finding another partner? Or what would they be proud of me for doing? What legacy are you living? Live their legacy. They were here on this earth. They created a bond with you, the love. Live that legacy. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Your path is your own. It really is your own. But you are not alone in it. When I work with my clients, everybody's story is different. Everybody's experience is different on how they lost their loved one. Everybody's journey is different in life. And because of that, all our healing and our grieving is different. So we have to start healing ourselves. Grieving and the release and the reimagine of a new life comes from within. We have to start inside. We have to grow ourselves first. Does that make sense? I really hope it does. So if you've lost your husband, your wife, your partner, please know that the fog won't last forever. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to carry that love forward, carry that love forward while slowly reclaiming yourself. But not too slowly. Don't take years and years and years and years. Do it now. Do it today. So if this message resonated with you, please subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who may need encouragement today. And if you'd like to go deeper, I've linked a free training below where I share more about the grief release method and how it can help you move forward after loss. Thank you for letting me share my story with you today. I am Denise Deelwart, and I'll see you in a week. Remember, healing is possible, and you are not alone.